Hey guys, it's Thorn. This is a partial video response, partial comment response, partial just general kind of rantish video. Not even really a rant because you know what, my feelings aren't even very strong anymore. But just some quick commentary, hopefully quick, on the whole real witch issue. Because, you know, that one really never goes away. I know every time there's a new slew of videos about somebody saying somebody isn't a real witch, and then everybody responds, and then, you know, whatever, and comments are always things to the effect of, oh, not this again. But it never goes away. It never stops. The conversation, I say conversation, it's not a conversation, it's an inane argument that can't be won about whether or not any one individual or style of witchcraft is in fact a real witch or real witchcraft is always raging. And anyway, I just wrote a long blog about it, which I will post below. And I've talked about this before and I've written about this before, but I just want to emphasize, I guess, a couple of things in particular. I'm not going to draw any kinds of lines here about what constitutes real witchcraft, just because I think that's a waste of time, frankly. And if you're really curious about my inner workings on the subject, you can read said blog below. But I just wanted to emphasize that it doesn't matter what you do. Someone somewhere is going to think that what you're doing isn't real witchcraft and that you're not a real witch. It doesn't matter if you're initiated into an old tradition. It doesn't matter if you run a coven. It doesn't matter if you're honest to God summoning demons with the world's largest skull collection behind you. It doesn't matter. There's going to be somebody who thinks that what you're doing isn't actually witchcraft. And they're going to have lots of arbitrary reasons based on their own, often very narrow understanding of what witchcraft is. I was told most recently, a couple of days ago, in a comment on my last video, that I wasn't a real witch because I hunt, I'm interested in hunting, and I'm also doing feminism wrong, apparently, but what have you. You know, I hear that I'm not a real witch all the time. I'm not a real witch because I'm a Wiccan. I'm not a real witch because I'm a Gardnerian. I'm not a real witch because what? I don't use enough blood in ritual or something, or I haven't read a certain book, or I don't follow a particular writer's school of thought, or I haven't done X, Y, or Z. It doesn't matter. There's something that you're not doing that isn't making you a real witch or something. And it's a waste of time to be worried about it because you're just not going to make everybody happy. You're not going to persuade everybody, and all of us would be a lot happier and a lot less stressed out if we could just kind of get on with it and keep doing whatever it is that we're doing that makes us happy and makes us function in our particular witchcraft traditions. Because you just can't make everybody happy. And that's okay. And you know, the longer I do this, the more experience I gain, and the more experiences I have, the less I care, the less fazed I am by what other people think. The YouTube comment, for example, that I just mentioned, the irritation came not at the accusation that I'm not a real witch, but rather at the implication that hunters are like hateful, backwards people, right? Like that was really kind of the button that was pushed. It's pretty hard to faze me anymore by calling me not a real witch. Anyway, so everybody mostly just needs to chill the hell out. And the whole concern over whether or not somebody else is a real witch, I really believe is rooted in insecurity, and, you know, that's other people's problems. Leading into my second point, if what you're doing is spending so much time worrying about whether or not what somebody else is doing constitutes real witchcraft, then like maybe your own practice isn't interesting enough. I don't know. So my second point is that pretty much everybody needs to spend less time on the internet. Like, if most of your experience of witchcraft is being yelled at by people on YouTube or on Tumblr or on whatever forum that you frequent, and you don't want to deal with other kinds of witches, or you don't want to get involved in other kinds of communities because you want to avoid these kind of arguments, well, that just means you're hanging out with the wrong people. And you're talking to the wrong people, and you're in the wrong places. It's, I don't deal with this argument super frequently. It's always kind of on the periphery, but, like, amongst my friends and my local community, this is not a conversation that we have, and this is not something that phases me. And when I get shit from other people on the internet, I just block them. That's all I do. And it doesn't have to be this big dramatic scene. So I just think people need to focus on what they're doing and not on what other people are doing. And I think people who are overly concerned with what other people are doing need to get lives. And a lot of that starts with getting off the internet. So yeah, I mean, I think about the debates that I've watched about who's really a Wiccan on like Amber and Jet, or what really is real traditional witchcraft on Tumblr or something. And all I can think of is, wow, if these people spent half as much time actually doing witchcraft instead of just writing about witchcraft on the internet for other people who were just having the same kinds of inane arguments, then like what might they accomplish? So anyway, those are my 2 cents, and I hope you're all well, and that is all. Okay.